Right?
Well, they've been having a fun time.
Well, sorry, folks. My mic was set to the wrong setting. And
Hi, Tuttle.
also, it's like it's blown out to shit. It's probably better now. Oh, yeah, Turtle. Okay, thank you, Turtle. I genuinely appreciate that. Sorry, I've been talking this whole time and saying that I'm getting ready to set this up, and that I've been setting it up, and Steam took a really long time to connect my controller, and sorry, I guess you heard none of that, so that's on me.
And I talked about how we lived in a world where we've all been just too comfortable in ignoring the fact that Babylon needs to fall.
Yes.
And along came a game brave enough to say
Babylon,
not just that Babylon should fall, but that Babylon must fall. Must.
That also means you didn't hear me introduce my first game here, which is probably my favorite game of the next fest.
Hi, Tuttle.
Also, yeah, I guess, hi Turtle, hi Zabet, hi Gaijin, hi Ven, because you didn't hear that. Womp
Hi,
womp.
Gaijin. Hi, Ven. Hi, Zabet. Hi, Tuttle. Hi, Maid.
Oops, oh no, you didn't capture it. Stop that. Drop. There you go. Now that should work. There we go. So this is Drop. I'm not sure, like, how streamable it is, so I probably won't do the whole thing, but I kind of want to just, like, give a sense of it. I've played a lot of hacking games, and there's two types. There's, like, the simulators, which basically means, things that are like Hacknet. And then there's, like, the arcadey hacking things, which I really like, because I like games where the challenge is to spread your attention all over the place. And usually, those aren't very good, because I think it's really easy to make one, and hard to make one that's fun. But, this demo's pretty basic, but I really like what they're doing. The one thing I don't like about it, I like the writing. It seems really confusing to me. I think we're getting, like, a scattershot of writing from throughout the game. But, I like this. The core premise is... I can just skip the tutorials.
Yeah, that's right, Zabet. We are hacking the mainframe.
The core premise is you just navigate between nodes, and then you just hit A to use the nodes, and you have a limited number of... I have one thread available right now. You can see in the upper left corner. It's used when I hit connect.
Personally, I plan on hacking the planet.
And so you just kind of interact with the nodes and try and get everything working as efficiently as possible. And it introduces stuff pretty readily. You always start by hacking, like, an entry node, and then to complete you have to disconnect from it. And I think in another couple missions we're going to... Oh, now we have two threads, so I can connect to two things at once, as you can see.
Two things at once.
And for this one, we have to ping this 5 times. It's to teach us that we can do two things at once. You're on a timer, and, well, I guess I can... If I go fast enough, I can just kind of show everything. Or not everything. This time we have to get someone's keychain. The demo definitely starts pretty slow, but it's just really satisfying to do this and lock in several things at once. And to get people's info, you have to interact once to get their info, and then if they're the person you want, you can get their keychain. Or if they're the person you don't want, you can also get their keychain. That's allowed. It just doesn't help in any way, shape, or form.
And then if you pick up the person and shake them up and down for a while, you can get their dog tags.
That's right. Arliss Twart. That's not a name.
Arliss Type.
Arliss Twart. They are randomly generated, so I guess... I know this one's pretty similar, but we have to find the...
Zabet's got it.
Mm-hmm. We have to find the director's account.
Ben also got it.
We're not just looking for the name, and then we have to install spyware instead of getting their key thing. But
your notes, that is, got your notes.
Oh no, not my notes. pretty much the same thing. Install just takes longer. Gosh, I guess since I know all the objectives, I can actually skim through this pretty fast. I was planning on only doing part of this. Now we have a store. And I bought another thread. Yay. You can also make your CPU go faster, and there's more stuff later. I want to at least get to the part where this starts getting somewhat interesting. So yeah, now we're actually timed. And we have an extra objective that gets us money. Bonus money if we do it. Which is nice, because as far as I can tell, at least in the demo, you cannot take optional missions for more money. I'll just acquire these things. Brandon Hawking. There we go. Quick. And that was well under 4 minutes. Hi, Maid.
Hi, Maid.
Gosh, I guess if I speedrun this demo, I might actually be able to do it all. So now we've got health. As long as we're attached to a hostile network, they will be sending pings through. You'll see little red flashes, and my firewall is my health, and it will go down. And once all the firewall is down, I start taking direct damage, which I don't know because I never let that happen. When you take damage, you can go back to your firewall and run an action on it to restore it. Our goal here is just to fully exploit this network, I think. Yeah. This is the thing that's attacking us, and we can't really do anything about it. It just kind of continuously does damage as we're connected. Oh, and you can hit Y to jump back to your home area where it's all green. And see, I can run this and I'll heal my firewall. And then if you hit Y again, you'll jump back to wherever you were in the enemy network. And you can tell what's your network and what's the enemy because the background is green or red. Which is fun.
Good and evil.
Hostile network, what is this, my health insurance? Nice.
Oh.
So this time we have to find a specific package. And this is where it's like kind of starting to give you things to do. We have to find a data server. Which I think is that one there. I think that's what that symbol is. Yep. And then we have to look through. It's on drive D31. And it's called DAT737. And then we just download that and we're good. Wait. They very ease you into it, but I think that makes sense because they're giving you a lot of tutorials, even if the actions you're doing are ultimately pretty simple. Because I think this game builds up to quite a lot, even just in the demo time. And this time we have an actual alternate objective that's more than just do it quickly.
It's do it kindly.
Where we have to send out 5 pings because they want us to show off, basically, I think. Delete system packages name RES9991. Which aren't here, none of these are that. Oh, that's my phone vibrating. I don't know what that sounded like to you guys. I think it'd be really funny if it carried through the mic. I guess they're both right here. There we go. I probably should have paid attention to my health. I got down to half. Oh well. Mr. Fancy 5 pings.
Mr. Fancy 5 ping, look at you. Oh my god.
Okay, so now we're introduced to alert levels. So that thing in the upper right says core. That's the level of alert we're at. Every suspicious action we take in an enemy area, which is most of it, is going to generate a log. You'll notice when I do a connect here, the log, when I start it, under log server, another thing lights up. This is where the logs are, and you can run an action to delete one log.
They're heavy, they're wood. They're logs, they're better than bad, they're good.
And if the logs get to maximum, which, maybe I'll just show that off. Real quick alike.
Yeah, quick alike.
So yeah, I'm gonna just do 2 more actions here. And now it's at level 2, which basically makes every enemy attack happen more. It just makes it more dangerous. So you basically want to keep going back here and deleting logs periodically every time you do stuff. And that might sound like it's kind of a pain, but in a few more levels we'll have a better way around that. I cannot cut down the log to make wood. That's ridiculous. So now we have, if we drain data, it'll go to this.
The thing that's attacking us, what is it? Tuttle's health insurance? Some stolen joke valor. That makes for...
Yes.
Honestly, that makes the joke even better.
So when we drain data, it'll automatically go to here and get sold for money. And our objective is also just to drain data here. Oh no, it's not. My mistake.
Money.
It's just like it's a very arcadey moment-to-moment experience, but you also kind of have to constantly be thinking, and it's very fun.
Always be beeping.
So yeah, these blue things are data nodes, and you can drain them for money. Like this. Which, for now, means we kind of have to keep going back and forth to the log server to drain them. Micah Blight. That's a name.
Micah like a blight, Micah blikey blighty blow.
Of course?
Yeah. You're welcome.
Oh no. I need to actually heal, I forgot. Thankfully, it always flashes some kind of alarm at you if you're fucking up and ignored something.
Hi, Maid. Maid, are you hacking the planet?
I bet so. I'll just drain the rest of this real quick. Oh yeah, and the thing underneath my firewall that says highway shows how much of the data on the server I've downloaded. And I've downloaded all of it, you've gotten all of your extra money. That's it.
Maid, answer that.
And you start getting the ability to unlock things like this, which will automatically mark node for objectives, or this will automatically connect things, which I didn't get a chance to get to, unfortunately. I want to get to at least one thing before I stop doing this, because I think it's neat.
Get to at least a thing.
Oh yeah, now there's a new type of attack, so I'll be taking more damage till I shut it down. This one you can shut down, though. Once you find it. Oh, I thought I was... So yeah, this is a ram, which will do damage until we do a minigame on it. The minigame is, there's dots around... The dots show how many, things that how many green things they're touching. If you do a red one, you just get locked out for a moment. So it's not that big a deal. But it's just still a minigame you gotta do all quick alike. I think the planet might have a landline. It's possible. The machine of the director. Employee. You cannot download more RAM. Don't be ridiculous. That's illegal. You can't just do that.
Can you download more RAM?
Yes? Gonna say yes.
Wow.
Oh, I missed some. I guess I'll get it. That's good enough. I don't care about raising my alert level anymore. I just want to get to one thing before I stop doing this one and move to the next one. Because I think it is
One more thing.
the thing that makes this game actually interesting. Wow. Oh, this is the one where it is. Sort of. Oh, there it is. It's these little treasure chest looking things. If you hack into these, you can integrate power from the network, and then you have power. And you'll see up under my Nexus in the top left, I have 2 power. And I'm gonna have more once I do this. Let me shut down this attacking thing. See, at this point, it's starting to get a little more hectic and interesting to me. Doop doop. So, with power, I can run automatic programs, which I think I only have one of here, which is a drainer, which will automatically drain from these nodes to get me money and stuff. And each one costs 1 power. So now I'm running around setting up programs to do stuff for me, which is really handy because obviously it'll do it on its own, a little slower than I would do manually, but it also doesn't generate logs because it's only one action. So I can just sort of zip around everywhere and get all the stuff. And then if I want to help out some, I can. Or I can go back here and use my spare time and thinking to heal. And it does a lot more with that stuff, even in the demo. It allows you to auto-drain logs, for instance, so you just kind of always want to get 1 power and use it to start draining logs, so that you don't have to go back and clear the logs manually all the time. And it's clear they're going to do more with that. And just even by the end of this demo, it gets complicated enough that I'm pretty into it. But I think I will stop there, because I probably showed more than I needed to. And I don't think it's that fun to watch streamed. But this game just feels really good to play for me, and it's very targeted at what I like in an action-y, puzzle-y game. Other than the fact that I don't care about the story yet, which is kind of a bummer. Because hacking games should have good stories, probably. But otherwise, I really like it, and it's my favorite game, maybe? The other game that's vying for that spot on the Steam Next Fest is,
Unstreamable.
It's not streamable, but I want to at least mention it real quick, and that means I need to make sure I know the name, which I don't want to get it wrong. Because it's complicated. The end is Nahual, if I may say so. The end is Nahual, and then there's a colon, if I may say so. It's not a streamable demo because it takes at least an hour and a half, and it is mostly text. Text that I don't particularly want to read out loud, because I don't think doing the funny, goofy streamer read to it does it justice. It's really interesting. It's very weird. It's very clearly made by, like, one person with a lot of really neat ideas. Half of it, in between the text, sometimes it is a sort of puzzle-based action-y corridor running thing, and sometimes it's a point-and-click puzzle game with really neat, weird puzzles. I really recommend if you... I think anything I say would probably be worse than what the, would probably give a worse impression of the game than the game's trailer itself would. So I would say look up The End is Nahual, and if the trailer looks at all interesting to you, play the demo before the Steam Next Fest is over. But I can't stream it. It's not streamable. But you know what is streamable?
Oh no!
Dad by the Sword.
No!
And do I have a way of showing the? I think I have to show the image of Dad's by the Swords. I'm gonna link it in chat real quick. Sorry, I'm gagging Shell. Oh my god, why is it so tiny? What? Oh, because it's minimized. I can't let her stop me. I won't let her stop me. Let me just link this image in the chat real quick. Just link this image in the chat. Oh god. There we go. Sorry, that's gonna echo for a moment. That's what this game looks. That's how they're choosing to advertise this game. Do you guys like things that are definitely not puns, no matter how much they are supposed to be? Put this in his dad's sword, because that's what we're gonna get into here.
It's nothing.
It's nothing. Dad by the sword is not a pun. Like, it's a pun on dead by the sword, which isn't a phrase. That's not a phrase that anyone's ever said, obviously. Okay. Hey, OBS, it'd be cool if you could capture it. There you go.
Maid's right. As usual, Maid's right.
Yep. Yeah, shit. That's a really... Yes. That is a category of person, isn't it? Huh. Yeah. Let me just move this here. This game is a roguelike heavily inspired by Might and Magic Dark Messiah. Or was it a Might and Magic game? Was it Dungeons and Dragons game? Whatever Dark Messiah was. You know, the game with the swords and you kicked people and it was mostly about kicking people into spikes and stuff. Oh god, my phone just fell and it terrified me. Oh. Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, that's the one. So this game is heavily inspired by that, but it's a roguelike, and I think they were like, what if we made a roguelike that's kind of based on that? And like on a couple other, like... I mean, you'll see. And then I just think they had no fucking idea what the game should be themed around, and they were like, what if it was themed around dads? But they don't know what dads are. They can't think of a single thing dads do other than grill meat.
Well, hey, don't give it away.
I can't help it.
But, like, let them...
Successful game loading screen. Thank you, mate.
Tuttle. Oh, so this problem is just...
Yeah, no, this sword vibrating is just here. It'll vibrate slightly differently every time it loads a level, I noticed, too. Now it's only vibrating when I turn.
No, Tuttle, because that's not a pun. It's not anything.
No, you can... They have a live-action trailer for their game where you see the people who are presumably the devs, and they talk about their dads. It's about... They say it's your dad. The joke is it's your dad. This is your dad doing it.
And anywhere that the dad could be suggested in the game, he looks very different.
Yeah, you'll notice that in the top left, I guess that's me, and that isn't... It's not the same person that I am. I have not played Shower with Your Dad Simulator, but I think that was at least a short game that like was only trying to be a joke. I think this is worse. I feel bad.
Oh
Actually,
my god, the people, the devs look like they look like somebody who was trying to make this game 15 years ago. And I think that's because they looked the same way that they do they look the same way now as they did 15 years ago.
That was a trap, huh? Okay. So this game's controls are trying to do something? Oh, there's a trap. I just dodged that by accident.
Oh no, Mead! Oh no! Actually, I do have a pretty good idea they probably didn't, because they have 3 other games, 2 of them are nothing, and 1 of them is also annoying.
Yes. No, 2 of them are top-down zombie shooters. And they tried something different in the middle, and one of those zombie shooters has an annoying theme, and the other one doesn't. I think
right, and then the other thing they tried is also annoying.
And then they just have like a really generic-looking fantasy roguelike thing that is just like...
Is one of them cats? No.
No, it's just like... It's no specific theme, the other Goofy game they have. It's just like, what if... Death Trip to Canada.
Oh,
but it's not Canadian jokes. It's just like...
Well, we don't know that. Because they do go to a place called, oh shit, what is it? It's a Walmart pastiche, you guys. It's like...
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I can't either. I don't want to.
Anyways, the controls for this game are a bad idea, I think. I'm just gonna say. I haven't tried the alternate control scheme, but if they wanted me to use it, and it's better, they should have made it the default. So, to attack, if I hold the attack button, I hold it out like this. I hold the sword out like this, and then I hit up, and I ready a downward slash. And now I am stuck in downward slash mode, and I am going to do a downward slash, regardless of how I move. Same with left and right slash, and also you can do, I think, you can sometimes do diagonal slashes. There we go. And like this, I get what they're trying to do, but this weird method of like prepping your attack is so awkward in a game where you're kind of doing moment-to-moment combat. It just feels really weird. The blocking system is less bad, but it's got the same system of block left, block right, block up. But to do a parry, which I think is important because it makes your block really make them ricochet back, you have to block and let go of the button at the moment they attack. Only the timing's slightly off. I think that's our food being here. Let me see if I can do it. No, that was a normal block. Normal blocks don't really seem to get you much advantage at all. Oh, and your sword can break, apparently. I forgot. I learned that.
But it still seems to do something.
It does something. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about my sword being broken. And then we, of course, have the kick button, which you can do a normal kick or a charged kick. And for some reason, there's a kick meter? I guess it's to stop you from stun locking things?
Tuttle, I want you to understand that any time Frank plays something with a parry system, I say that. So what I'm saying is, thank you.
It's absolutely true. She says it every time. Usually multiple times. Usually, not just every time I play a game with parrying. Every single time that I say the word parry.
I try to hold it back sometimes, but it's like trying to stop a river with a toothpick. It's just not gonna happen.
Oh, I guess I get my sword back when the room's complete, randomly. Okay. Oh, it's a bonus room. Oh, it's a bathroom.
Oh, bonus.
Okay. Dads must wash before returning to battle. See, it's a joke because dads wash their hands.
Yeah, that's because everybody's a dad. See, that's also nothing. Dads must wash hands. It's nothing.
It's not anything.
Is this a Vorpal sandwich?
It's a giant hoagie.
Why
Really,
is
this
it
is a sword.
warbling then?
Because it's a hoagie, so it warbles. And it has a perk called Walk It Off, which they haven't bothered to tell me what that is, I guess. So that's fine.
See, so everything's a hot dog or a purple goat?
Yeah, I don't know. The enemies...
Oh, that's right. And if you notice, bead curtains. Hey, because bead curtains are when your dad is a 70s sex pest.
Yeah.
And then there's like a den, but it's like a skeezy 70s sex pest den. So like these are like if there is a dad joke being told here other than dads like to grill, it is that they are specifically citing a dad that lived through the 70s and the 80s. Like that is if that is your dad, then they are telling a joke just about your dad.
The kicking is very powerful, but it feels terrible. And it should feel really good, because the whole point is
it
to
looks
make it
terrible,
good.
so...
Yeah, it just, like, knocks them back a really inconsistent amount, and it, like, stuns them, but not how you'd want. Oh, and you jump by holding block and hitting the kick button to hit the ground with your sword? I guess? Like, I don't know if that's a joke. Oh, hey, it's a gun.
No, I'm mad that dads are getting... That's just it. That's not even a stereotype. It's just that sometimes it's just like, here's the suggestion of an idea of a stereotype. Maybe we're suggesting something.
How do I...
Hey, sometimes dads have yards. You know?
I
You know
see.
how sometimes dads have yards?
Dads do have yards, I guess. Like, none of the... And, like, they have a lot of puns, but they're not puns.
They're monster mashers.
They really are. Oh, and there's also just sometimes, like... I guess you got I guess that was the trap, you can sort of tell. I don't know.
And it kind of came down, and then it stopped.
No, that launches me up.
Oh, I thought it was okay.
No, it just kind of launches you up.
It's like a boing. Okay. Sure. Ow. Hey.
Oh, fat
Ow.
sword. It's all about the girth. Baseball bat, go for a home run. Like, that's not a joke. That's just what it is. And then this was just a club. You didn't make a joke. You ran out of jokes because you had too many good jokes.
You didn't have any Oh, right, what you said.
Yeah, too many good jokes. That's...
But how are you doxing yourself, Nate? That is one of the least identifiable pieces of information.
Dad.
I mean, that's right. When this happens, it says this because that's a poem. That's a pun.
On you dead. You died. It's a pun on you died, but it's you dad. Nothing. I want to say nothing's good about this game. The game feel could be worse. It feels okay to slice things. That's kind of, I think, the only idea they had. So, yeah, it's bad. It's a really bad game. It's my second worst game of the Steam Fest. I'm saving my least favorite game for last. I don't think I'm going to do my third worst game, but I'll just say it. It's Gripper. It's clearly Fury, but you're on
that one. That one has interesting
stuff
for you to talk about.
I don't know if I'm going to have enough time.
Okay.
I might get to it. But now I'm going to do a game that I think Turtle might be interested in.
Oh, it's a game for Tuttle.
Yeah, so everyone else can just kind of take 5. What if Clippy was a hot dog?
Agent, you told even more of a dad joke than they have managed to evoke in the entirety of that demo.
Yeah, okay, everybody else is hanging back. We're doing Dungeon Drafters. There we go. And I know when I looked at this, I was like, oh, it's another Slay the Spire. But you know what? It's not.
It's not.
It's actually not.
It's actually something that's like, I want to be my own game.
Yeah. It seems like each one of these has 2 archetypes attached to them. I played as this guy last time. He was really fun. I liked him. Let's see. Yeah.
That's a valid theory, Gaijin.
Yeah, this might actually be a Gaijin game too, come to think of it.
A game. Game. Yeah.
So yeah, out of battle you can move pretty freely. If you walk into something, you'll attack it, like in, you know, a roguelike or whatever.
A what?
A roguelike, not a roguelite.
I don't know what that is. You're
Yeah.
making up words.
That's true. Oh, I don't know what this room is. Sword Challenge? Effigy. I don't know. I think last time I did the demo, which kind of just put me through a full set of levels, but this might be slightly harder. Yes, prove my worth to the sword. I see, it unpetrifies everything. So I have 3 AP on the lower left here. Those are my moves. Moving costs an AP, attacking costs an AP, and as far as I can tell, every card costs 1 AP. Which, if I have any reservations about anything, it's that. Because I feel like that's going to be really hard to balance if every card always costs 1 AP, no more, no less. But, whatever. A lot of card effects let you hit pretty far away. Well, at least, actually, that was what the last guy was. I don't know about this. Rogesks is better. Oh, shit, I think our food got here.
Okay.
Should I get it?
I can go look.
Sorry.
No.
Let's see, what do I have? Do I have anything that will... No, I don't. I don't get to show that off then. This is neat. It attacks... A lot of cards just have like dual functions like this, where you do... I attack around me. Ah, so I forgot these guys split. But also I put up this barricade so this jerk can't get at me. Thank you. Tiger. Card effects. I kind of wish I picked a class that does more status effects, because I think they're neat. But I bet everybody does eventually. I don't know what recast is.
Clank.
Bonk. Bonk. And then you add value. You're just free to move around. And as far as I can tell, free to cast your cards. Although also, any cards you used, again, as far as I can tell... Although it is a false dragon.
False.
Oh, and it looks like it has a bonus of having twice as much health. I don't think I saw that before either. Oh, it pulls me to him. I see. Oh! I don't know what Crush is. Oh, but I'm not at the right spot for it.
Oh, hi, I want to offer promotion of your channel. Viewers, followers, view chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto on, incredibly flexible and convenient. Order management panel. Everything is in your hands. Turn on, off, customize. Go to dogehype.com. Man, dogehype.com has been getting through a lot.
Yeah. Those little plants hear you. Gosh, I hope I get to show that off. A thing I really think is neat about this game is that any effects, any positive buffs or negative anythings, are actually cards that go in your hand. And you can always play them at the cost of an AP to get rid of it, whatever it is. I had one card that, as the last time I played, that I thought was super neat, where you attack 3 tiles in a line, but you also put up a wall, and then for as long as you have that card in your hand, which I think it lasts for 3 turns or something, you are protected from attacks in that direction, and it just sort of attaches a shield to like your left side or your top side or whatever. But you could also cast it to throw the shield and do a stun and discard the shield, and I just like that it's got this neat system. It seems like it's doing a lot of stuff that is not Slay the Spire-esque, and that's good because you stop trying to beat Slay the Spire. Stop it. Stop trying to beat Slay the Spire. I swear. This guy on alternating turns, they'll summon this little explodey guy, who explodes, and then they'll just and then on alternating turns they'll set a sigil next to you on the ground somewhere. Oh, this is everything in a cross. I see. That kind of sucks for me. I don't have any ranged attacks. I guess I'll just take damage. Fuck it. Bonk. I guess I get to full health right there anyway. And yeah, once you're here, you can get a heal, and you can reshuffle your deck. As far as I can tell, that's the penalty for playing too many cards, is if you run out of cards before you get to one of these places, you just have to only move an attack for a while. Oh hey, this is the relay I was talking about, that I think is so neat. But I can't really use it. Yeah. Yeah, they did make Slay the Spire. That's so true.
What's it called?
I don't know. But yeah, I definitely went into this expecting like, oh, this is going to be kind of like that the other game that was like, oh, it's a card-based roguelike, but now it's also a grid-based thing. That like awful 80s action movie themed one from like a Next Fest or 2 ago. But yeah, so this roots them. It doesn't do damage, but they can't move. And then it gives me West Shield, which passively blocks attacks. And I get... oh, that's right. That's how they... when a buff stacks, you just get 2 of them, and they have discard 1 at the start of your turn as an effect. But you can also use it to inflict stun 1 to anyone around you. Well, she's just really neat, I think. Oh, and I can use this and discard 1 of these. Oh no, I guess I didn't do it right. Fuck, I fucked up. Well, I'll just go here. I don't think my shield actually blocks me from AoEs like this. It doesn't. Oh wait, this isn't gonna work. Well, it's fine. Nitro Kid. Yeah, no, I don't even know that. Is Nitro Kid out? I feel like it may have never come out. It feels like something that might have not come out. I definitely didn't hear about it if it came out. You go over there. These guys are real jerks. Oh, you checked it? I suppose that shouldn't surprise me. I like the bird monk a lot better than the rabbit. Oh. Oh, this is how I discard. Hop! Bonk, bonk, bonk. Okay, that's actually pretty fun now. Puzzle piece? What's a puzzle piece? Yeah, this is more complicated than the tutorial one I did. I think at the start you draw up to it always gives you a 5-card hand when you start a room, and otherwise you just draw one a turn. I believe that's how it works. What are these? A flying bowl. Oh, jump to target position and inflict 3 damage to any unit exactly midway between start and finish. Interesting. But I assume I can only jump. Yeah, I can't do diagonally, rather. What is a... I don't know what my objective here is. Oh, it came out! Well, anybody who's gonna play it probably thinks it rules. Because they're stupid. Hop! Oh, I was supposed to destroy... I figured I was either supposed to destroy as many as I could before killing the enemy, or I was supposed to destroy as few as I could while killing the enemy. Turns out it was the one I didn't go for. Womp womp. And I would have gotten a cool treasure chest reward. And then, yeah, your reward for getting through things is getting card packs that will unlock stuff later. Yes. I think I will. So yeah, I think this looks really promising. I am very into it in a way that I mostly am not into card-based roguelikes, because they're all either the same, but like worse than Slay the Spire, or occasionally it's like, oh, you're doing something. Maybe you should have copied Slay the Spire. It's unfortunate. Well, that one's really long. Let's see. I could do Gripper right now. I'm gonna do Gripper. It's my 3rd least favorite game.
Ooh, yeah. It's...
And of the 3, I put in the... Where did I put my controller? Oh, on the ground. Of the 3 games I put in my, like, this game is really bad tier, this is the one I feel bad about, because I respect what they're trying to do. I just think no one told them not to do it, and they're doing a bad job at it, and it's also a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's, if you've played Fury, you'll know it's supposed to be like Fury. It's really obvious that in fact, I'm gonna put it in my stream capture as not Fury. Because it's trying to do a lot of things. Like, you know what Fury needed? Probably, like, more story and talking. Probably just, like, more talking. And a motorbike. Because it'll be so cool. Ooh, hello. Food. None, Sonny, I am so worried. Dad doesn't show it, but he's also going nuts. I am begging you, think again and come back home. Happy birthday! Oh yeah, oh, everybody can come back. It's no longer a game for Turtle only. Engage in. Last letter. None, my sweet boy. Where are you? Alive, safe, healthy? Please come back, or at least write, Happy birthday, Mom. I'm disappointed in you. Oh, hey, Shine! You're here just in time for my third least favorite game.
It bad.
You did miss a game that might have been for you. Actually, it was a card game. So... None, enough is enough. Think about your mother! It hurts just to look at her. Come home right away. Happy birthday! I don't... None. So many years have passed. You were probably quite grown up, a young, handsome man. Dad threw himself into a new project. I am helping him. Doing what I can. It's easier this way. A little. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, None. I'm disappointed in you. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're confused that they keep saying None, I was also confused. None, my dear boy, never, ever, under no circumstances come back home. Mom.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's not his birthday.
Happy birthday, None. I'm disappointed in you. What happened to my world?
Damn, what happened to my world?
Everything about this game is just slightly off, also. Well, a few things are more than slightly, but mostly everything is slightly off. The way everything is animating here is like, I kind of want to like it. I want to vibe with it. But it's not that bad yet. So this is one of the two play modes. Game styles? I don't know. But of the two, I like this one a lot more.
Of the two, this one needs more Queen Latifah.
That's true. There's no Claire de Lune at all. Oh, it's a Flash game. Well, okay, so you know how Fury had those segments between the fights where you like dramatically walked around and like saw like big vistas and stuff? What if instead of like having like thoughtful, slow-paced moments during that, it was actually like a cool bike ride through a tube? I think that's what they're going for.
Reach.
I don't know why he's reaching for that. I know what that is because it's introduced to us in a moment. But he doesn't know what it is yet, so I don't know why he's reaching for it. Also, this next bit, I'm going to try and play this the way it happened to me the first time I played it.
I am None. My parents own this land.
I am None.
My name is served, and from now on, I am the owner here. Get out.
No way. What happened to my parents? And where are they?
Same place where you'll be soon.
Oh, okay. Move. I can slide to attack. Oh, you're not going to do what you did before? You fucker. There. Yeah, you can slide to it. You can slide into things to attack them, and like you. Okay, so my first time, I literally looked over to the side, and it said slide to attack, and I was like, okay, and I did one slide, and the hand came from above and grabbed me and instantly killed me. And that's how that went for me. You have to lose this. You can't win. So it just gave me like a disorienting quarter second of gameplay, and then it's cut me to this. But yeah, up to this point, I didn't dislike the game yet. I was like, you know what? I'm feeling it. Other than the fact that it like fucked up the tutorial for me my first time. And just sort of quickly bewildered me by giving me something to read and killing me before I could possibly have read it. It's like, it's alright.
Anybody home? Wake up, handsome. Time to get up.
Oh, right, this isn't voiced. Do you want to be Cat Kit?
Okay.
I can be Cat Kit also, just I thought I'd offer. Cat Kit, is that you?
Lower.
You're right.
Wow, after all these years, you still remember my name.
Of course! I gave it to you! Cat Kit. Consumable autonomous toy, because I guess you can eat it. I don't...
A tool, actually. It hurts. I thought T is for Terminator. Anyway, I patched you up nicely. It's time to fight again.
Damn! What have you done to me? I'm half machine!
A fighting machine. Don't you want to help your parents?
They're alive. Do you know how to save them?
Well, I saved you. Okay, let's cut the crap. Go fight.
Oh, I have to go right. I have to do upgrades first.
Choose the ammunition slot. Good. Unlock something useful.
You
Now install it.
deeply, deeply want the health pack, which was not made clear to me. In fact, it wasn't made clear to me that you could
Let's go and
equip...
test your new abilities out.
You can buy both of these and equip them, but like it kind of shunts you to not do that. So I just bought the landmines and got confused, which is bad because the landmines are pretty shit and the health packs are really important.
You are ready for the first Guardian. Jump into the portal.
Where?
There. It's over there. It's one of two things that exist here.
Be careful. You might find lots of nasty surprises inside.
Also made. It is macaroni and cheese with several cheeses in it, and it's very oniony, and there's some good chicken in there. It's pretty yummy.
I have roasted beet salad.
So right off the bat, they're doing this trick where they reverse as you get to them, so you're supposed to drive towards the wall as like your second action. Like, how are you supposed to know that's the trick? You can't. And then there's this bit where they like shove you to the side, and then when you go over the gap, it like throws you back on the track and into the wall. And it's like, but it guides me over there. Like, that's where I'm... And it's gonna do that again, but even worse up ahead, if I remember correct. Yeah, like right here, what am I supposed to do? You just get hit! Like, unless you know that's coming and really know exactly where it's coming and swing way to the left immediately for no reason, you're gonna get hit by that because it's gonna shove you into it. It's bad, and I died on this several times without really feeling like I could have done anything.
Where did you send me?
To Zero's first Guardian. His name is Shock. Rip out his heart!
You're too beastly for a kid's toy.
If I were, I would say, rip out his guts, gouge out his eyes, spit in his skull. But I say, rip out Shock's heart.
Weird.
Will help destroy Zero.
One of the weirdest line deliveries I have heard in a long time.
Sorry, if Zero tracks me down, bye-bye to old cat.
I mean, also one of the weirdest line writings I've heard in a long time. Just
Is that
real
a
weird.
house? Where did that come from? What's it doing in the middle of the desert?
There used to be an ocean here. Zero's remaking your world for himself. Look for the heart.
Found it, but I can't reach it.
None, use some creativity. You're at the bottom of the ocean. They dumped tons of dangerous stuff here a while back.
So yeah, this is actually the main gameplay mode, and our main attack is not the slide. In fact, the slide kind of sucks, I think. Our main attack is this grappling hook, which,
Gripper.
that's why it's called Gripper, because it's like a grappling hook. Right? You can grab things, and then they drag behind you, and then you can throw them. And it's really hard for me to explain how bad it feels. It doesn't... I don't think it's a particularly interesting mechanic. I don't really think it's... Nothing about this game needs you to be on a motorcycle, and in fact it would be greatly improved if you weren't mostly on a motorcycle. It just kind of means that you slide to a stop awkwardly, and you don't turn the way you'd like to. And yeah, to pull big things, you have to pull away from them for a while, which sounds fine, but is a problematic thing, as I'm going to show in a moment. Let's see. I think I would have taken damage from that. The area of effects in this game are massive, for no reason. And this game does a terrible job of telling you what to do, because what you're supposed to do isn't any more satisfying or intuitive than the things you're not supposed to do. So you're supposed to go grapple its leg to rip it off, right? But like, these guys are constantly spawning, and it takes long enough to rip off its leg that they're going to show up. And also, it's always shooting at you, so you're going to get shot at. I think you're supposed to throw things at it to stun it, except that doesn't really seem to work. Oh yeah, sometimes stuff just blows up. These robots blow up, so like, you kind of have to not be close when you throw them, and like, really hope that they don't run into each other. If you want to heal, you have to pull up the rocks, usually, but then you probably are going to get hit. Oh, well, it exploded while I was carrying it, so I took damage again. And this is what happens when you try and pull off its legs after you've taken 2 legs. It has a shockwave attack that fucking kills you. Oh right, this is B and A. I'm using the Switch controller.
Don't you know how to kill insects? Rip off its legs. Use consumables whenever you need help.
And like, I think they just... Yeah, see, it's stunned now, but I'm still gonna take damage. And like, unavoidably take damage. Because it takes so long to rip it off, and you're like, awkwardly stuck to it while you're doing it. And I think they were just like, well, we're just gonna make health drop everywhere and give you health packs you can use. And then, like, it's fine if you're required to take damage. We don't need to balance anything. Like, it's a real lack of care. Everything feels bad about doing it. Oh, sometimes when I can... Yep, you can do that. You can grapple from really far away, but it just drags you back. And yeah, at no point does the game tell you what you're supposed to know here, and what I had to figure out over a series of successive deaths, which is, you don't... you stun him by throwing multiple explosives at him, or rocks, which is not made clear at all. And B, once he loses 2 legs, you don't want to get close because you'll be getting hit by the shockwave. So you super don't want to do that anymore. But you have to do this. And then if you didn't bring the health packs, which I didn't my first time, then you just kind of have to run away and desperately do this to try and build up enough heals while also being shot at. And inevitably taking some damage when you try and get heals. Everything is unsatisfying, it's extremely unintuitive, and I think even if it was working good, I could forgive all that if I thought that it was stylistically neat enough, and that if I thought everything was working good, like it might in a full game. But like, if this was working good, it would be really bland, is the thing. Like, all of this is still nothing. Oh, and pulling off all its legs doesn't kill it either. You're just kind of supposed to keep throwing stuff at it. I think maybe you're not even supposed to pull off the last 2 legs. Maybe you're just supposed to, like, throw stuff at it from really far away for a really long time. I don't know. I really don't know. I still don't know for sure exactly what they want me to do here, which is pretty bad. For a demo boss? I agree with you, Carl. There's very little about this game that's deliberate.
Zero can no longer see this zone. Don't forget to take the heart.
It feels very careless. But they've been working on it for years. I don't think there's a lack of effort here. I just think they didn't really have a good idea, and I... Oh yeah, and you get upgrades, I guess. So now I can jump. That's the end of the demo. Even this is kind of bewildering because it shows you everything you just did, but backwards. Mostly. I think it's also a really bad demo, but I think it... Like, I don't think it's a good game either. My theory is that they came up with this idea of, like, 80s inspired. They would have started working on this, I think, based on their, like, the awards that they've won a lot of, like, showcase awards that, like, you know, certain, like...
They're finally
Expos.
giving us the Akira-style fighting action, whatever thing we've all wanted.
Yeah,
And-
that's something I think Kotaku said about it that's on their store page. I think that basically they just came up with the idea that is visually appealing at a glance and hits a lot of, like, buttons, and so I think a lot of people looked at it for maybe 30 seconds, maybe played it for 5 minutes in between playing 30 other games, but they remembered Gripper better because, like, oh, it's that game that's like X and it was kind of cool. And I just think no one's actually sat down and been like, are you sure you want to make some of these decisions? And I think this game is going to come out and they're going to assume it's going to be popular, and it's not going to work. And that's why I feel kind of bad. Unlike the other two games I put in my, like, terrible game category, I feel bad for these guys. I think they're trying to make something good. I just don't think they are. Nintendo Life said, Gripper is the Akira-inspired boss rush we've always wanted, and it looks incredible. Kotaku said, Gripper is a cyberpunk bike action game that takes Doom's rip and tear gameplay to a new level. It's not very Doom. Like, you do... Doom says rip and tear as a phrase, and you do rip things off here, so that's something. It's not anything. Yeah, if you want something inspired by Akira, you have many options. Many options. Alright, I'm a little unsure that this one will stream good. It probably will. But it already runs a little iffy. Oh, right, and it has an anti-cheat. That'll take a moment. I should have been booting it up already. It has an easy anti-cheat on the demo, which at first my reaction was like, oh, you shouldn't do that. But then I was like, actually, you're going to get a lot of people playing it. You probably should test to make sure that doesn't fuck things up. I don't really feel like it needs an anti-cheat. Like, you don't directly head-to-head people in this game. I'll take a moment, the opportunity to eat for a moment, because I'm hungry. Oh! Right, and also for Maid, we both got,
Dave isn't here! Maid's not responding!
Oh no.
We can't say the stuff if Maid's not...
That's
if Maid's
true.
not here to hear it!
Well, now you guys won't know what my drink is.
Good! It's not information for you, it's for Maid.
That's interesting. Well, it's taking a while. Okay, so it's like it's actually launching. So I'm going to be playing Meet Your Maker for a few minutes here. I think this is probably one of the more hyped games in the Next Fest, and then I think it was featured in, like, a notable set of presentations at E3, or was, like, in Sony's showcase or something like that. I don't know. Oh, it opened in the background. Oh, it's not really open. Come on, man. Don't be like that. Come on. Oof. Well, now I'm a little worried it's not going to work.
Hi, Maid!
Hi, Maid.
Maid, I had roasted
Oh.
beet salad, gold and red, and it had a little bit of feta, a little bit of tahini dressing, pickled onions, and so forth. And I also got a lavender lemonade, and it has a delightful, sparkling lemonadiness to it. And then the lavender hits you.
Yeah, it's the lavender's the aftertaste. It's very good. I also got the lavender lemonade. Yep. Alright, so
Your outpost kills another. This is how we save the world, one death at a time.
yay! So this is Meet Your Maker. And it's kinda got three oh boy, I'm gonna get a lot of stuff.
You didn't say what you got.
Oh right, I got a mac and cheese, 5 cheeses, very oniony with some with a bunch of chicken in it. It's very good.
You are the only one
But I gotta actually do some housekeeping here apparently.
under our control.
I'm gonna extract some juices from this guy because I filled up while I was not playing the game. His juices filled up, so now I have to extract his juices and put them in my Chimera over here. The lore of this game, which I kind of wish I could replay, but I don't know how. But basically, post-apocalypse, almost everyone died from a terrible like disease blight. A few people of us survived, and now there's a bunch of bases like this.
It's a horrible gene DNA devouring illness. But the remains of those who had an immunity to the death thing are out there, and also they have like a weird science. Then also all of these weird places have like a weird science experiment that yells at them about how they must become the genetic future so that a cure can be found. And they just kind of yell at you, and I think they think it's inspiring, but really they're just weird ladies with big goop heads inside red tubes.
So yeah, we want to level up our Chimera with the idea being like
Mankind revert to
we're evolving. Oh my god, I am trying to talk.
some chimeras have inherited this trait.
So we're trying to like put all the good goop in her so that she becomes the ultimate life form, under the assumption that a lot of Chimera bases out there will be bad.
You gotta, but like there are other places, other sanctuaries that are working against you. You must be the ones to herald in.
So there's a bunch of resources you gather, but the most valuable one is like your main level up source, which is called GenMat, or genetic material, which is harvested from the bones of all the people who died in like the terrible riots and stuff. So there's kind of two ways to get things, and I'll do the first one first, which is raiding. You raid a base. Oops, I didn't hold it.
You Weetabix.
So I'm gonna raid this base. And when raiding a base, you want to get to the inner part of their base and find their red treasury thing, and then you have to get out with it. And there will be traps and enemies, probably, in your way. And you have 2 weapons. Well, you have 3. You have a limited stock of, like, usable things. I only have the grenades. There's more I can get. I also have my sword. And I've got my gun. And every gun in this game, although I only have 1, and I think there's only 2 in the demo total, every gun in this game, you actually have to pick up the ammo again, so it's inherently very limited. Oh, I saw that. This is the place where the stuff is extracted, and this guy's the extractor. And the function of the extractor, mechanically, is, you can follow him and he'll take you to the inner part of the base that you have to get to. Oh god. Oh god. That worked out somehow. That was like a bunch of traps. If you see orange stuff come onto the side of my screen, that means I'm about to get hit from there. There's my other... Oh, there's the thing right there. It's a short one. They made it short so that it could... I'm just gonna try and trigger the traps. Oh, and by destroying traps and guards, you get these little pickups, which you can use later. Oh, and you have a grappling hook, too. And once you have it, you can leave by just getting far enough away or getting to this area. And then you can rate how much you like that one. That was pretty fun. It was a little brutal. So you might be thinking, like, that was kind of a weirdly designed level. Which it is. There's a reason for that. It's because someone designed it! And you can design your own levels. Can I prestige this? I think I will, just because I don't feel like building it. How do I do that? I actually don't know. Let me go look at it. This is the base I built. So that's the other way you get resources, and there's some resources you can only get. So you basically build the levels for the other players to go through. And like how much area you have is dependent on like how much you spend to establish the base, and then the base lasts for a certain amount of time. But if it gets enough kills or it gets enough of those little upvotes I gave, whether it was fun or brutal or ingenious or artistic, then you can prestige it and bring it back to life and have it keep going. How much it costs to prestige is based on a combination of how many kills it got and how much people upvoted it. So you want to make a thing that's fun but still hard to beat. So this one's actually inactive right now because it ran out of time. But this is the one I built. You can fly around in the build mode. I covered everything up except for this one entrance. Oh, and also you can go and explore, and sometimes when people die, they'll drop some resources for you. So it encourages you to go see where they died and like pick up their resources and stuff. So my whole idea with this one was to just get people to think they had to be safe by going to another area and then making that area unsafe. So I just put a trap there, just to sort of draw their attention at first, and hopefully they'll go get it. But then these guys will start shooting them. And then hopefully they come around here, and then this guy will shoot them, and if they try and kill this guy, they'll step on these spikes and die. If they grapple up to these guys to kill them, or get their ammo back, then they'll die from these spikes. And then they go over here, and they'll probably see this guy and go towards him, but there's like all of these guys up here that will start shooting them from cover. And then if they go to kill those guys, there's these guys up here! And then if they run through all these guys, they're thinking, fuck it, I'm just gonna run for the treasure over here. There's a spike here, which they'll probably see and destroy, but then there's one behind them that will probably hit them. And yeah, once they grab this, a couple traps. You can modify traps and guards with like special attributes. Like this trap, I don't have most of them unlocked, but this trap only appears once they grab the thing. It activates, so like on their way out, they'll get hit by this, hopefully, because it'll shoot out spikes at them. I think this game's really, really neat. I'm a little worried, like I'd be worried about any player-created content game, how it's going to play out. Like, will everybody just find some boring hallway that you can't beat or some shit? Or will it actually, like... How much will it reward a fun place versus a bad but hard place? I don't have GenMat to I don't have enough to activate it. Damn.
You don't have a Gen X.
I don't have a Gen X. I've already gone through a few, like, they have it. the way this is, if you die, you die in one hit, but you respawn instantly, and you don't lose anything from respawning. Not really. I think you get like slightly less overall. Why is this red? Oh, because you want me to strengthen it again. Okay.
There are chimeras. I will never forget your kindness.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. The goo.
The sanctuary.
Please.
The goo.
We're fighting for the privilege to survive one more day.
This place will upgrade your suit and armaments. Well, not armaments, just... This place upgrades your traps. This place upgrades your guards.
The future will
This place upgrades your, like, usable, consumable stuff, like grenades. And this place upgrades your
There's
weapons.
no point mulling over the...
And each base has, like, an affinity towards one of them and will let you level them up.
Sometimes I think...
And leveling them up also levels
You're
it
not
kind of
alone,
up.
custodian.
And you can even do stuff like
This burden with you.
this. I want to watch this. From Alien. Ah! Which is a very good username. So this is someone raiding my base. And you can just watch it. Let's see what they did.
Just watch.
The replay view is a little janky. Owned. But, like, having a replay view in a demo is pretty good. There are not negative effects for having your MacGuffin stolen. Because fundamentally, you're supposed to... The person invading is kind of supposed to win eventually, every time. You're just trying to distract them, to kill them as many times along the way. They're gonna steal it, probably. At least mostly. There is a way... Normally you can set your bases to active or inactive, but there is a setting where you can sort of double down. Oh, you're dead. You messed up. There's a setting where you can double down, and you earn more resources every time someone dies, like twice as much, but you lose like 300 if every time they take it. So then you kind of have to kill people. You have to successfully kill people sometimes, or you will actually lose resources. But that's like an optional setting if you're just like really confident in your base. And yeah, I think when you're invading, I think you lose a little bit of resources when you die, but like only the resources you've already picked up or something. I don't really know the specifics, but it seems like I got slightly less rewards, but it's not a big deal. So like dying isn't that much of a bummer, other than that you have to do it again. Which does mean that like there's room for a lot of surprise. Like, I'm going to surprise kill you with the pitfall trap things, but then like that will only kill once. And then the person will be ready for it. I should have put one on the wall there too. No, then they'd be more wary. So yeah, that's me, your maker, and I'm pretty excited for it. I've enjoyed my time with it so far. I do think it needs a lot of tweaking, certainly, but like, the core game is such a good idea. It's just a really solid idea, and it seems to be executed pretty well, at least, already. So, I'm excited for it.
Hey.
Dr. Buttplug, you will quickly learn to look up in this game. Like, I feel like that was definitely the meta, such as it was. and that it's one of the first things that a lot of people were thinking of, basically, was like, here's a corridor, here's a trap you can see, and then there's traps on the ceiling. Or you walk around a corner and there's a trap around the corner, but it was like facing away from you, so you didn't see it, and you walked in the corridor and you died. This game will force you to check the corners. I should probably plug in my phone. I will be right back. I need to have my phone on so I can see chat. Boop, doop. Okay. What's next on my... Oh! Well, that's next. Next is my least favorite game in the whole Next Fest. Not counting anything hentai, because I didn't play that shit. Maybe even counting some of the hentai things, frankly. I do not like this.
Oh, yeah.
I do not like this game.
No, this is... Nate, it's pretty bad. Oh, you
No,
mean about not
yeah.
playing the hentai? Yeah, we all know, though. We all know.
I don't play them.
So, hey, I know that we may all be familiar with a game called Dome Keeper that came out a little while ago.
I played it on the stream. Real fan cats know the deal.
I don't know. What if we went about it in a different angle?
Ooh! Okay, first off, what if Dome Keeper had plot? Right?
Definitely, one of the biggest problems with Dome Keeper was that it did some silly little... It had this silly little idea about establishing, atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I need to hit A. I thought it would auto-progress. And its bowels would provide us with everything we need. It wouldn't be that bad, actually. If it weren't for the Zyrex!
The Zyrex!
These creatures attack like clockwork, so you don't want to go too far beyond the perimeter. But sometimes we still have to make these forays. Sooner or later, the current...
What about the
monsters-
5As?
We don't need to do that.
Phew, okay. Yes.
For some reason, I increasingly want to believe that the ones who don't return have found that very edge my grandpa spoke about.
Edge.
Maybe his words affected me more than I thought. Maybe that's why I became a wall digger too. To find the edge of the wall.
Oh.
Wall.
Wabo LaRuda.
I don't know why it says it like that. Wall world. So this is the first fucking gameplay screen you see, and it's got Big Booba. Immediately.
Yeah. Booba!
It's
the
just-
Booba!
It's just got Booba on it. Like, what if all...
What if, you know, the biggest problem with Dome Keeper is that it don't got the Booba!
Yeah, well, they really fucked up. They didn't put any Booba in. Oh, this lemonade. They also added in meta progression, where, like, you can actually get more powerful between runs instead of just unlocking alternate stuff. Which, like, whatever, I guess most things do that.
MC Shoulders, they're, releasing energy, because of arousal. The Booba! Boing, 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 boing. Now, that there, dear viewers, is what TV tropes would have called a wrench wench.
Oh, boy.
Boing, boing, boing,
Boing, boing. This character doesn't show up anywhere else, but, like, it's so fucking egregious. What a bad thing to show me right off the fucking bat.
Boing,
Like, especially with this art
boing.
style, you have to go out of your way to be this horny in this art style. You have to try so hard.
Or, in some ways, if you are committed to this art style, you will just be this horny. They can't be that horny, though. I don't see... Where are the feet?
She might be barefoot, it's really hard to tell.
Oh, good, I can imagine it.
She's kind of got the Todd McFarlane feet.
I do like
They
that.
might be hidden behind the background.
I really like that that her shirt, which is there, folks, I didn't think she had a shirt on until Frank assured me.
Well, she doesn't have a shirt. She just has like a bikini.
Well, it's hard to tell. My point is, it's hard to tell because the color is so close to her skin tone.
And yeah, no, she's not anywhere else. This is just like the upgrade thing. You don't play as her.
Yeah, no, she's like what's her name? The doctor who became a tree in
Oh man, I can't remember.
in No More Heroes 3.
I know who you mean. Dr. Naomi.
Dr. Naomi, who's not Dr. Naomi Hunter. Yeah, she's like Dr. Naomi, except Dr. Naomi
right.
has
The
more
controller doesn't work
impact on the
well.
plot.
I forgot. I can't use controller. I have to use keyboard. That's not really the game demo's fault. I don't think. It's just the Pro Controller. It doesn't work with everything.
I think
We can blame them though. So yeah, you walk along until you find a mine, and then you hit R to have to like attach to it. Now the core idea of like, what if you went from mine to mine in a game like this? I don't hate that. I hate everything else about the execution and concept of this game. But the idea of having a home base that moves, I was like, okay, you know what? Whatever, maybe it's still fine. Everything feels bad.
Look at this! Look at this, though! Just look right at it, and if you've seen Dome Keeper, you know what I'm freaking out about. Like, how do you just get... How do you manage to get so on the nose?
So, a thing about Dome Keeper in most mining games is they have like a mechanic where you get close and stuff. But this is just you constantly hold the fire button. You're going to spend most of your gameplay hearing because there's no reason to let it go ever. Also, Dome Keeper does a thing where like different things have different hardness and you want to plot a path through. This does have different rocks with different amounts of hardness that take different times, but they're placed randomly, and the strata, as it were, shift so wildly that it is effectively just completely random.
But it has like the density of your little dots and so forth, the little dirt and dots, and the water, or whatever the fuck they're pretending it is. Which, by the way, it just kind of goes into like a pouch that you have.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is like, I think key to these types of mining games is weighing like when do I want to go back versus how much deeper do I want to go. This game helpfully takes that decision out of your hands by you just vacuum things up into a bag until it's full, and then you go back because it's full. There are no choices to be made. You just fill it in until it's full, or until time runs out and it's not full because you got unlucky. Because again, there's no real choices I can make here. I can choose to dig in different places, but because it's so effectively random, it doesn't matter. Oh, and here's another fun thing. So, the purple meter on the lower left is, oh right, I have to disconnect. This time. If I want to go to another mine, I can do this, and the wave will never end. So I can just have free travel, basically. And then when I get where I want to go, I'll just shoot the guy. Yeah, I know I can. I just did. So, like, you can just infinitely... You just leave someone alive on the opposite direction of where you want to go. And, travel is free, because they didn't think any of this through at all.
Because I don't know how they managed to do it so fast, but it was just... because they just managed to be like, oh my god, Dome Keeper, we gotta rip that shit off
And
fast.
thus, it turns out, there is no doubt and thus, it turns out, and there is no doubt the wall was in fact created by... ... Yeah, so they put random lore tablets and things like this. For the demo, that's
things
always
like
there.
this,
'cause the
you
demo's
mean
not
things like the fucking chambers in Dome Keeper that just kind of show
yeah,
up sometimes.
they do look like the chambers from Dome Keeper. Like, there are other games that are like Dome Keeper that have existed, and I want to say they couldn't have ripped it off so fast, but it's too exact. I don't know. It's just so damn close. Well, one of the other times I went in there, Gage, and it was, like, closer to being lore. But that one's just a joke.
It's a joke. Everybody is a joke.
Also, look how long it is between some of these. And you've no idea, like, it's just, again, just, there's no real... That's the other thing, there's not a choice you're making here. I'm going up because if I go down in the demo, it just stops. It just says you can't go any further in the demo, sorry. In the final game, presumably you either choose to go up or down and then you stick to it. Because if you try and go a different direction, you'll just fucking, like you know, you wouldn't be like, I'm gonna come out of the, you know, you've been going up and you come out of the mine like, I think I'm gonna go down. No, of course you're not going to, because you'll have to walk past all the mines you already completed. So you'll just have to pick one direction and go forever.
But you're dying.
Yeah, I am. I can get upgrades, but it doesn't matter. I will die until I get the other upgrade. They've tweaked the demo so it's not really possible to beat this wave until you get the, like, outside of, until you get the upgrades from the hub. You basically have to lose.
Oh, look, it explodes towards you!
So yeah, now
Boing,
I can
boing,
launch a homing
boing,
missile and
boing,
walk faster.
boing, boing. Oh no! Go back! Censorship!
So yeah, now I have a homing missile that recharges over time. On this, I'm gonna try and find the thing up there, because I want to point out, like, there's just nothing that is happening, fundamentally.
Booba.
That's not happening.
Well, no, because you left.
Oh, it's you again. You have angered the gods. The harvest is about to begin. When up and down change places, when the snow falls in the middle of summer, when those inside and those watching divide the great cloth, the barbarians are having a feast, judges in chains, and a pale pelican. See, that's lore. It's kind of like lore.
Kind of.
It's kind of like lore. Boobs went away. No! Go back, Frick. That's my wife. Too bad. Oh, God. Like... Dawnkeeper goes out of its way to give you choices at every moment. Do I go back? Do I not? Where do I mine?
Should I stay or should I go now?
Should I stay or should I go now? I would really like to know now.
Hey, come on, let me know.
Please, I would really like to know.
And if any of you have any ideas, like...
The missile automatically targets the highest health enemy if you're curious, so I just know it's gonna hit that guy there. I guess that's almost like a choice. Should I use my missile as soon as it's off cooldown, or should I not
Should you cool it, or should you blow?
use it as soon as it's off cooldown? The answer is I should use it as soon as it's off cooldown. That's the answer.
It works for the... It's should you cool it or should you blow? It's perfect, actually.
See, now I just sort of walk away from these things. I can get to this mine for free. So, oh look, now we're at this mine and it's got a different thing. Wow. Like different designs and like, it's a little harder here, but it doesn't really matter. And so another big problem, Dawnkeeper has like hard unbreakable walls on the sides, but for the most part, like it's kind of a box. They aren't perfectly box-like, but like, you basically just have a huge mineable area. This game does not. It has a bunch of really tiny areas that are kind of maze-like. As a result... I need to level up my...
Level up. Oh, it's just the regular level up. Damn it.
Oh, yeah, no. You have to die to go back and see Booba Lady. So, like, see this right here? How there's two things here? I'm gonna mine them, and there's gonna be nothing. I know that because the demo isn't random. I'm recognizing this pattern. But, in theory, this could be nothing. But this could also be, as you can see kind of here, like, it could be the path to the next area of the mine.
Or...
So you just kind of have to mine literally everything. There's no meaningful, like, oh, I'll mine here, oh, I'll make this choice, oh, is this something more or not? There's nothing like that. It's just like you have to mine all the edges off because one of these will lead to a huge labyrinth. For no reason.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, no, they just made the third wave really hard on the first try so that you died and saw Booba Lady and got the upgrades.
I
Because they
did
wanted...
want to see Booba Lady. So that was good of them.
So if this is laid out like it was before, like, there's this whole area here and you just kind of mine it through. But, like...
I can't because I can't stop thinking about the booba.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of like, oh, I mined it out. This is roughly as big as the first mine. But it's not, because you go down... You're supposed to mine these two specific blocks randomly, and it goes, like, super far for no reason.
Don't you random.
And, like, again, now I just have to break through the hard blocks. Like, there's no... Oh, should I or should I not? Oh, also, if your thing is full, you can just sort of vacuum the things and they'll physics follow you.
Oh man, check out Maid here, the Booba Nooba.
Ooh. I don't like that one. Oh yeah, and because my bucket was full and I had to go back, like, I can't really go back and mine more because the wave will be here, so I guess I'll just stay here now, I guess. And wait for them to show up, because I can't leave. Sometimes in Dome Keeper you get back to your dome early and you're like, well, I messed up, I can't really go anywhere. But, like, that's because of choices you made. It's not just like, oh, my bucket filled, so here I
can't
am.
really dome anywhere. The goal of Tuttle's right. The goal of the expedition is to find a material that'll support her back.
And yet, again, there's just like this one block thing, and you have to go through it. Like, if this is how they're intending to generate their game, it's really obnoxious. I'm gonna make great time because I know exactly where I'm supposed to go, but this is just kind of a random labyrinth where you just have to mine everything until you find the right place to mine, and then you can go a place. Oh, I didn't quite remember.
Should I stay or should I booba?
What the hell?
What the what?
Some things are too big and you have to drag them behind you. Like in, I don't know, Comb Deeper. Something like that.
So what was that? What, like what? Exactly?
Comb Deeper. Is that the thing?
Comb deeper.
Just sort of do this. Oh, wait. It's stuck, so never mind.
God, just like...
This is such a fucking mess. Why is any of this allowed or encouraged? You
oh,
get a shotgun.
yay, you found a shotgun! Switch it and try it out! Oh boy, it's like, God, this is just so... It's such, like... It being such a blatant ripoff makes every single bad thing about this even worse.
Yes.
Also, you can't shoot all the way out.
No, the shotgun doesn't do that. You have to... That's to make you switch back to the other weapon.
Because that's the fun thing. What if you just have a bunch of weapons you switch out and none of the weapons actually, like, work well?
Yeah. That, but actually. Wow, I did it. Funny.
My booba lies over the ocean. My booba lies over the sea. My booba
So yeah,
lies over
I hate this game.
Yeah, it's fucking misery
It's
to like.
so bad. It feels terrible. Literally, I can't emphasize enough. Like, I often look at video game design as like, what series of choices is the developer giving to the player? I didn't make any choices. I don't ever make a single choice, fundamentally, because everything I do has a random outcome.
How
essentially.
long you spend with the booba?
That's the only choice there is.
Yeah.
How much booba?
How much booba? For
I'm
me and Yuba.
gonna finish this one on. Ooh, I'm not sure this will stream. I'm iffy on that.
Oh.
It kind of ran pretty shitty, just on its own, because I think it's doing a lot of stuff. We'll see. Let's find out.
Bring back my booba boobie. Thanks, Chai. Ben says everything I do, I booba for you.
Turtle says, "Shell, this is how I feel every time I see a Slay the Spire." Yeah. Ugh.
I mean, I basically feel it about a quote-unquote a Slay the Spire as well.
Uh-oh, I might have all tabbed while it was loading and broken it.
Stop that!
Oh, I had to capture it. Oh boy, it's just kind of up in the corner for me. I might have broken it. Hold on. But like, name one choice I made that had an outcome I could have predicted. That entire time. No, I didn't make that choice. The boing happens.
Oh. I don't understand the question then.
Okay, hopefully this will work this time. Please? I probably won't be able to finish this one, but maybe I can if I go real quick like. This one might make me run pretty late. We'll see. But I think it's really neat. I recommended it late last night to Julia, but then the games chat was flooded with people talking about some card game.
Yeah, so
no one saw it?
All of yeah, basically, you also recommended something to Nix, but the games chat got flooded with news about some card game, so nobody saw it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be terrible, Chai, if people just discussed card games.
Yeah. It's not like anybody here would support Hasbro, though.
You can't do the full sandbox mode in the demo. I was curious. Interesting, you can generate the city, though. I'm going to do the pre-made one. Halls Springs.
Halsey Springs.
This game actually do a pretty good job of explaining itself. But it is a detective game.
Detective.
It is a randomly, procedurally generated detective game.
A Dex Dog Detective game.
God, I wish. You fucking kidding me? I wouldn't need any more games after that. I could drop the rest of these fucking games if they just made a Dex Dog Detective game.
Charlie Sheen Dog.
The great thing about a Dex Dog Detective game is you know where the secrets are, always. They're inside.
They're inside. The secret's inside.
The secret is inside. You don't need to, worry about it. It does take a while because it has to generate a whole everything.
A whole everything.
Including simulating past events, which I think is really neat. It has to write the whole story up to this point for everyone. I think I'm going to turn the tutorial on because it reminds me to explain things to people. It is the late 20th century. This intro gets a little iffy. It just doesn't run that good. Hyper-industrialization has swept the planet. So yeah, it will probably get a little hitchy. The old Bourbon Empire has crumbled, giving way to the United Atlantic States and the first elected megacorporation president in history, Starch Cola. President Starch Cola. I love that. Fuck yes. As sea levels rise, cities have become polluted islands. Workers dream of escaping to the fields, an exclusive retirement district few will ever see. Rival corporations vie for power, policed by the privatized Starch Cola enforcers. Some say justice now only exists in the shadows of destiny.
Finally. Back to Ike.
Procedurally generated shadows of destiny would be another thing where I just wouldn't need a game anymore.
I mean, it's Shadows of Destiny.
It's kind of already like that, but there's not infinite of it. Bro, I woke up on this side of the bed this time.
No, the whole point of the reveal is that there is infinite of it.
That's true.
That's the...
Huh, my apartment different. I woke up on this side of the bed when I played last time. Turn on the light switch in the kitchen. Blip. Although I think mostly my apartment looks the same. Former Police Officers Welfare Association. We're here for you. Free basic housing for those in need. For more information, contact Leah Johnson. Please note we can no longer help with money or social credit claims. Boxes. Search the apartment for clues. Oh yeah, I have a flashlight. Gasp. So yeah, you have an evidence board. Pretty much everything you can interact with that is information is a card, and you could theoretically pin all of them to your cool detective board, and they'll manually link together if they detect a thing, but you can also link them together yourself. Or say they'll automatically link together, but you can also manually link them. So, like, I get this note saying find Craig Bernasconi. I can click it and bring up Craig Bernasconi. I don't know anything about him, but I can pin it to this board. What-ha. Hoo-ha.
Well, there goes your chat. Sorry, hon.
Yeah, it's always magic.
Yep, always.
Let's see. Bernasconi. There he is. Now I know a bunch more about him. Although...
Hi, Tuttle.
I've lost my key. This is a lockpicking tutorial. There we go, a paper clip. Another paper clip. Lockpicks can also break cameras. And a hairpin is also a lockpick. A hairpin and a paper clip are interchangeable.
A hair pick clip and a lock pick are interchangeable?
Yeah. A hairpin and a paper clip are both lockpicks.
A hairpin and a paper clip. That's it. A hairpin and a paper clip walk into a bar. They're interchangeable.
I needed to get both because I needed to get 2 picks. Because that was a, I think it was a 1.5 pick strength lock, but it cost me 2. So yeah, now I have a print scanner.
Nixius.
Oops.
Right?
Yeah. I didn't leave any fingerprints in my own place because I'm a fucking professional.
Office cereal.
Pick up the key to my apartment. And yeah, you can plot a route to any place if you know where it is. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a little jitter when I'm outside or in certain hallways while I'm streaming. I can't do anything about it. Womp womp. If I get upgrades, I can go here and install them to alter my genetic code to make me better at punching people or jumping or what have you. And like every one of these rooms has people who live in it, and that person has some kind of a generated life. I know that when I went through this before, I sort of stumbled across a few people who were just like doing things. I was like, is this related? No, it is not. You can knock on the door to see if anybody's home. No one's home.
I'm a knock on our door.
Aha.
Waiting for you. Where the kisses are hers and his. Three's booba 2.
So I'm currently marked as trespassing because I'm not supposed to be here. But that only matters if I get caught. And the money underneath it is the fine I'll have to pay if I get caught. They also suggested I find an escape route or a place to hide. Which is not a bad idea. I think I'll try hiding this time. Last time I escaped, and it went poorly.
Yeah, it did.
In the future, everyone can be Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, it's the future.
Well, it's actually it's an alternate 1980s.
Yeah, but it's the future for us. Because that's how the 80s turned out. In this time.
I'm going to take your fingerprints.
And print it!
Unknown citizen? Who could this be?
Unknown citizen, who could this be?
Could be anyone. Don't forget who owns you. Take.
Oh no, I forgot!
I was specific. The New Leaf Association for the Legally Challenged. We are a friendly, non-judgmental group welcoming all those who wish to become productive members of society. Our advisors can help you return to work and begin making social restitution payments with our fabulous New Leaf, New Me 6-step program. scone.
A scone.
Can I use this hammer? Oh. Eh. 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 Photo ID. Now we know Greg Bernasconi looks like this, so we know that the person we found on the ground is him and we have his prints. And we have a fingerprint scanner. That's Craig, alright. I should search the place for clues.
I'd know that clue anywhere.
Craig's fingerprints. A mysterious other set of fingerprints.
There's no such thing as mysterious.
I don't know why the hammer is so tiny. That is kind of alarming. I will say the hands are kind of... Oh boy. I get what they're going for.
Oh boy.
I think I don't want the hands to look like this. That's kind of my biggest complaint about the game is I don't want the hands to look like
Look
that.
at these hands. Take a look at these hands.
It has a receipt at the Porcupine Bar. Wait. You can search through the trash too. Wow, coffee. A receipt for the Shark Sandwich Bar.
Hey, that's for the shark.
Well. Oh no, I'm stinky. I have to take a bath. That's a mechanic.
I mean, yeah, I was trying to stare here. Sorry. Yes.
I think I just got his signature from that. Ah. Oh, here's the tenancy agreement. I like this. Between landlord Ayla Fleming and the tenant Craig Bernasconi. The tenancy agreement is subject to the regulations of the Joint Corporation Housing Consortium, JCHC. A copy of these regulations may be obtained in writing from the nearest JCHC Administration Bureau on receipt of a processing fee. The notice period will be 1 week on the side of the landlord and 2 months on the side of the tenant. The key must be delivered to the Administration Bureau by 12 noon on the day of expiry. Financial penalties shall be incurred for every additional 30 minutes. You have to repair all your broken shit, but also you're not allowed to repair your shit unless the landlord gives you permission.
Ash Tuttle, I don't know if that's a good boxing stance for you.
I never knew you were a box turtle.
Oh!
The tenant shall not display or affix any visual media relating to a rival corporation to any surface. Any such media will be removed and destroyed without warning, and a financial penalty will be incurred. You're not allowed to use shower for more than 15 minutes, of course. Plus mysterious additional
You
terms.
didn't. Yeah, Tuttle pointed out a really important part you didn't cover.
Oh, the tenant shall not cultivate moss or mold for any reason, including nutrition.
But how many are you allotted? Any more?
And more than one time, more than one patch of living matter will incur financial penalties.
Which means
you get one for free.
you get one.
You get one for free.
Stick it to the man. Let one mold patch grow.
Mm-hmm.
for the people.
I'll take this key. Gray Systems. He works at Gray Systems. Oh yeah, you can dial this number to see what number was dialed
You
last.
don't have time for that. You need to work on a better boxing stance.
They didn't answer when I called. Dun, dun, dun. What are the clues I might miss? Nothing in here. Oh, I have to check the address book. What's the number? 255. Called Bianca.
Oh, Beyonce.
So yeah, the dot at the center of your screen goes hollow when you're hidden in the dark, and it's filled in when you're visible. The eye means someone sees you, and the redder returns the closer they are to being like, hey, wait a minute, you're bad. You can select the fist to do punches. It's bad. The combat's pretty awkward. I think it's kind of supposed to be. It's not a combat game.
Tuttle says, Frank, this is very important. Which, by the way, no, it's not. The most important thing right now is you fixing that stance. Has any code so far been 451?
No. But also they're randomly generated. Although I think in this in the demo thing they are not. What's not clear to me is how much the sense I get is that there will be a lot of procedurally generated mysteries, but that in like their campaign there will also be a bunch of pre-written stuff that will have parts that are procedurally generated and parts that are not. And my other impression is that it will probably be possible to make your own campaigns. I might just be reading into that, but it feels like it wouldn't be that hard to put in an editor. Maybe. Or maybe it would. I'm going to tie these two together with blue string. Bianca? Whoop. There, I'm hidden. Are they coming? Huh. Oh no, I'm stinky. They're gonna smell me. I forgot to shower.
No!
Fuck. You can see I'm stinky in the upper left. The smelly sock symbol.
Also,
makes
we
me
already
smell.
know. It's just a thing we know.
Are they... Oh, they opened the door. I heard them. I just have to hope they don't smell me, I guess.
Is that who I think it is?
No!
Is that who I stink it is?
No, it's not. It's someone else. Or it's nobody, actually. I have no way of knowing if they're still... Oh, no. I saw a shadow. The hedgehog.
Oh, well then you'll be blessed with 3 more weeks of winter.
Oh boy. Fuck! Where's that bloody smell coming from? Oh no.
Should have taken a shower, filthy
I
McFilthy.
should have. Is that my feet? Somebody in the bedroom.
Whose footprints are these?
We're over here. Oh god, am I trapped? Maybe if I don't move. Okay.
They're going to get their gun.
I don't think that's true. I think they already have a gun.
They're going to get their bigger gun.
Well, a door just opened.
I'm tired of being in here. Bye.
I hope that was them leaving. I was supposed to be in there. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Hey, you smell just like my bedroom.
What a coincidence. Your bedroom smells like me. Not that I would know. I haven't been there. So you can also get out of there by climbing through the vents. Collected form, the dead of night. So this is our thing. We need the full name of the killer, or we can't turn it in. Although I guess we could turn it in incorrectly. Then you get bonus things for arresting the killer, for having some kind of evidence that places them at the scene of the crime. Probably fingerprints, because I have their fingerprints. Knowing where they live, and locating the murder weapon. What's that smell? Guess it was nothing. So I will not be able to resolve this case. You'll notice that there's a 90-minute time limit. And when I played this demo, and admittedly I fucked around a bunch and just kind of tried to figure stuff out and took my time. But I ran out of time. I found the killer, but I did not, I only found who she was. I didn't get any of the other stuff, and I didn't have time to arrest her either. I turned in the case, and then there was a little epilogue bit that I didn't even get to finish, which was kind of a bummer. I wonder what happens if since I know who she is, because it's the same person. I guess I could cheat. I don't really know the whole story, though. I get some of it. I tracked down a friend of the deceased and found some stuff, and snuck into the wrong bar, and then snuck into the right bar.
Yeah, you screwed up a lot.
Well, yeah. I'm not a good detective. I'm just the only detective. Oh, you want me to look again, don't you?
That is... Yeah.
But yeah, I am looking at the time. I don't think I have enough time. But, there's just kind of a whole interconnected set of systems and world here that I think is really fun. And, you can get shot in it. Which I did. I did get shot. Repeatedly. By the same person. I knocked them out, and then they woke up while I was hacking their computer. And then I knocked them out again, and then I think... Oh yeah, and then I got randomly mugged. Or something. I'm not really sure why that guy stabbed me. Maybe it was for a reason. Maybe it wasn't. But I don't think I have enough time to show all that off. So I won't. And instead I'm going to call the stream there. I think this game is probably my third most interesting game. Again, the game I don't think I can't stream the demo of it because it's not streamable, but I will once again recommend The End is Nahual. I think that looks really interesting. It is ridiculously weird and captivating, and if you look at the trailer and it looks interesting, I think you should check it out. I'll link it in the Hangout channel. Although I also think it's probably not for everybody. If you look at it and you're like, wow, that's not for me. Probably isn't. But for now, I'm going to stop. Thanks for coming, everybody. And games are good except when they're bad. That's Frank West.
Except when they are ripoffs.
Frank West 2021. Because I said that 2 years ago. Oh, I didn't get to Vivid Loop. Vivid Loop looks like a Dreamcast game. That's it. The end.